South National Youth Council of Nigeria (NYCN) wey Sukobo Sarah Ogbebi the Presido don go see the Deputy Governor of Edo State. Edo State Deputy Governor Right Honourable Comrade Philip Shaibu tok say im don dey on dis struggle and carry talk around the country about not too young to run. The Deputy Governor come tok say na our time to take the country with our hand.
You can see I have a track record of the activities of the National Youth Council, even when I was president of NAM, because the two of us, the two organizations work hand in hand. And interestingly, we were able to work together to make sure that the positive impact that we wanted emerge. And I also joined in the struggle to detach youth ministry from women affairs. At that time, the struggle started when we discovered that the women, even when they are mothers and we love them, but the activities of the ministry was more of women than the youth. And we decided that even when we love our mothers, but we needed to have independence. And we were able to detach from Ministry of Women Affairs and Youth Development, as it was then called, to now have Ministry of Youth. They now added sport, but it doesn't matter. So we've been in that struggle, and as a member of the National Assembly also, I was one of those that with Honorable Tony championing the youth policies of having to have the youth in leadership. You remember that bill of not too young to run. And I was also, together with Tony, championing that not too young to run, because I was getting tired of our so-called elder statesmen, and I quoted them, which was widely publicized, that I quoted Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, then General Olusegun Obasanjo, in 1979. There I was very small, but I read it. 1979, when he was handing over to Alhaji Shehu Shagari. And in one of his statements, which was a major statement that I underlined, was that the greatest joy he has today, as at that time, 1979, that is not just handing over to a democratic governance, but it's handing over to a youthful president. So that is his joy. That was 1979. 1999, the man that was very happy and excited to hand over to a youth, 20 years after, became president of Nigeria. So are we moving forward or we are moving backward? An old man, as at that time, already an old man, saying the joy he has was not just handing over to a democratically elected president, but it's handing over to a youth. Then 20 years after, he took over from the youth. That is Nigeria for you. And for us, it's not acceptable, because that is not forward ever that we have always advocated for. That one is backward, never that we said we didn't want. And that is why I joined in that struggle to say, look, enough is enough. Not too young to run must come to play. And unfortunately, again for us, in one of the meetings, then I was already on this side of the divide. I was now in Edo State. When these young men and the leadership went to visit the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari didn't promise then that we should just allow him complete his tenure. He will hand over to a young man. We should just allow him to complete. That he will, after him, young men will take over. Now, what Obasanjo did in 1979, and he broke that jinx in 1999. President Muhammadu Buhari told us we should allow him complete these 4 years. He will hand over to a young man. And that is why Nigerian youth were doing one end, and they were doing obedient. It's because they felt we should hand over to a young man. Now, as President Muhammadu Buhari fulfilled that promise, so this is a message for the youth. We must come together to make sure we take our country back.
It comes to chook mouth for the 2023 election, say dem use armor tank take carry people come when they take rig the election to still stay for power. Say if them talk, them go say make them go court.
We the young ones, we the youth, wish it's time for us to actually recover our country. I'm happy that we are talking to our young men post-election, but post-election is not out of cowardice. Violence is not out of cowardice. I don't subscribe to violence, but if we have to take our country, don't forget, even the Bible tells us that the kingdom of God suffers violence. Only the violence, what? Take it by force. Our country, is time for us to take our country back. Forget about these characters who always tell us they will violently take our mandates. And they will immediately violently take our mandate. They will tell us we should not be violent in recovering our mandate. But you use armor tanks. You now use armor tanks to move people from one end to the other to rig election for you to remain in power. After you use armor tanks to rig elections, and you are telling us to just go to court because you think you can use the court to sustain the violent act of stealing mandates.
Una sabi say DSS bring one informate wey say some people wan overthrow the government with force. Say dem wan put interim government. Say na big lie DSS talk. Say if not be lie DSS talk, say as security people dem suppose don arrest people wey dey plan this kind thing.
I was listening to the other day, they say SSS said some people want to overthrow government. Some people are planning to have interim government. This is another lie. I challenge SSS, it's another lie from the pit of hell. These are just distraction. Complete distraction. I've never seen a security service that will be raising alarm over nothing. We are supposed to be seeing who they have arrested, paraded, and we are seeing that these people have been arrested for doing XYZ.
A constant talk say interim government na bad thing for we country and na against the law for we country. Say if security people they bring this kind matter, it means say the election not clear. Say him give DSS 3 days to bring the people wey want take government by force.
Interim government is treasonable. It's against the law. So, and if a security service will be the one raising alarm and there's no proof, then you know that they are collaborating with those that have stolen our mandate. We should not listen to them. They are collaborating with those that have stolen our mandate, and they want to divert our attention. We will not be deterred. Nobody can divert our attention. At time, enough is enough for all this nonsense. Coming to tell us the people plan to have interim government. Let's see those people. If you can come up to say people are planning to have interim government, it means that you have record of meetings that are taking place. You know them, parade them. Let us see, not to tell us that people are planning. Who are planning? So if they don't parade, if SS, I'm giving SS 3 days to parade those people. If they don't parade them, it means they are lying and they are trying to deceive us from focusing on reclaiming our mandate. 3 days, I give them 3 days to parade those people that plan to have interim government. Because for them to raise the alarm, that means they know them. For them to raise the alarm means that they know there was a meeting and they know people are planning, and these people should be paraded. 3 days. I give the directorate of SSS to parade these people to us. If not, that means they are lying to Nigerians and they want to divert our attention. Because interim government is treasonable. It's a treason offense. It's not something that you just sweep under the carpet. It's not something you just say. And if it is coming from secret service, we should believe them. And if they are not able to parade these people, then there's a problem. Issue of trust will not be in our mind. And if, God forbid, we no longer have trust in our secret service, then that is the end of Nigeria. There are certain things, certain agencies should not trivialize. There are certain things they should not even say if they are not sure. So I'm giving them 3 days to parade these characters and make them public, those that are planning interim government.
Ambassador Innocent Ajao and Ambassador Sukobo Sarah Ogbe, wey talk to our three people, come beg the deputy governor to help them review their office and buy them car and give them advice to move National Youth Council of Nigeria to the next level. And they constantly thank the deputy governor for his good work and when he still be member for NYCN.
I want to recall when I was a state chairman in Edo State. Some people begin to wonder, how did I succeed? But I want to say it open on air today, that I succeeded because I have him behind me. If you can remember, within the period of 4 years, that youth council was renovated twice. And it was a busy place that people were running in. I remember a particular time, if you want to be a governor in this state, you will come to the youth house to meet me. And I think that glory is no longer there. That's why we need to bring the deputy governor back strongly to the youth house. And also, we are here to thank you. The reason we came here is to thank you. Because for me, I believe that the future is brighter, no matter the obstacle that is coming. Put that in your mind, sir. And also, Mr. Deputy Governor, I want to beg you to please help us to renovate the Youth Council Hall. You have been doing it. We have no other person to cry to except you, sir. Help us to be in. And also, sir, by the grace of God, people came here with, we have to rent vehicles to convey people here. And I want to beg you, sir, if there's any way you can contribute, even though it's a bus, I don't want to say a coastal bus, to the South Zone, sir. We appreciate it so much. Even if it's a minibus. Do you the youth?
His Excellency, my Vice President has spoken, but I will just give a little voice to what he has said before you. When I was the chairman of Youth Council River State, and I later became the chairman of the 36 State Chairman's Forum, just like Governor's Forum, I don't joke with South South. And today, my Vice President just reminded me, we know you are serving Nigeria, now you can't do it for your region alone. But since we are with our father here, he has already appealed to your office. So I will not lay my voice to the Deputy Governor of our region to give the support to the South National Youth Council of Nigeria leadership for them to have, even though it is this keke mini bus is okay, so that at least it's carrying 7 persons from our town to see the Deputy Governor. It will not be enough. So that we will come back here again, wholeheartedly as a region, to say, His Excellency, we never knew that you are like this. Give God glory and thank you enough. Because I believe vividly, for him to succeed when he was state chairman, he give all the necessary support. You are his backbone. Now today, sir, God has lifted him from Edo State chairman to be the vice president of South. Sir, if he stands behind him, all the governors in the region will be scared of you. They will say, where this young man is coming from. So that is the vision I've seen, what he is envisaging. But I believe vividly, and I know too well, that God said, if you trust on him, everything is possible. And we also trust on God and believe that God will use you to salvage this situation for the South region of the council.
From Government House, Benin City, A. Carter, Ojasili, TMC TV News.